Just going to say a word of introduction to what Laura's going to do. Today my topic is the democracy of shamanism. I've been feeling for years that these ancient practices are becoming more and more available to people all over the earth. So I'd like to talk about democracy and shamanism, bringing those two together today. And so this first song helps us to get into the mood of that we are the people. We are the people. We are the ones. And we are a people of love. That's what the democracy of shamanism takes.
We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. Stand and sing it with me. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. Listen now. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. Now, we in unity get our whole being involved. So feel the earth, move your feet a little, move your arms, clap if you want. Huh. Everybody say hum, 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 hum. Here we go. We are brothers,
Got any children under 18 with us?
Turn your mic on.
Okay. Kids, hi you guys. Hi, thanks for being here. You could stay seated right there by your grandma, but I want to ask you a question. Do you remember your dreams? You remember your dreams, sort of? Some? Yeah. Most people remember some, sometimes.
I think I'm getting there.
You're getting there? Yeah. You know what? There's a few simple things that you can do to remember your dreams. When you first, yeah?
It was a long time ago.
A long time
My
ago?
dad put me to jail because he think I robbed a bank.
Wow, you remember that dream. Dad took him to jail because he thought he robbed a bank. That is a good dream, yeah. Lots of times our dads and moms can be like bad guys in our dreams too sometimes because they give us a gift. You know, anything that happens in your dream that's kind of scary, really it's coming to bring you a gift. So always remember that. It's really important as your life goes on to keep remembering your dreams, okay? And when you're kids, you have lots of imaginary things going on too. And here at Unity, we want everybody to keep their dreams alive and to keep their imaginations flowing. So a couple things you can do to remember your dreams, and this is for the kids and everybody, but if you have a hard time remembering your dreams, know this, every person dreams a lot every night. Scientists have shown that. There's not a human that doesn't dream. In fact, animals dream too. The problem is with remembering our dreams. So when you first wake up, just lay perfectly still. Like try not to wake up to an alarm clock or anything, but just wake up, lay still, because if you move your head to the left or the right, you're changing your neural pathways. You're changing what goes on in your brain, and it makes you forget your dream. So just lay perfectly still and don't move your head, and then let the memories come back. And then it's a good idea, if you really want to remember a dream, to write it down. To write it down somewhere. You can draw pictures of it too. It's nice to keep a dream journal. So I just wanted to remind you guys that we love your imaginations and we promote that. We want you to keep your imaginations alive and keep your dreams alive. And so us bigger people, let's rub our hands together and give them a blessing on their dream time, a blessing for being here with us. Thanks, you guys, for being here.
A whole bunch of back here.
There's a whole bunch back there too? Okay. All the kids, back and forward, we bless you. We say, we love you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ light shining. Thanks for being here. And I think, is your teacher here?
No.
Is she here?
Not yet.
She's not here yet. Okay, we'll be watching for her, and then there'll be a time when you can go out and be with her, okay? Okay. Yes. It's still going? Okay. Oh, yeah, it becomes kind of smoky after a while. Put it out. Sure. Would somebody like to come and get it and take it to the back, just that shell? Thanks, Roy. Sorry for the overpowering.
Put it outside.
Laura has another beautiful song medley for us about being a dreamer. And there's a poem, a really short phrase from a poem of Rilke, you know, the German poet Rilke. And he said this, he said, "Hidden within the grown-up heart is a longing for the first world, the ancient one." Hidden in the grown-up heart is a longing for the first world, the ancient one. And that word longing in German is ein Atemholen, and it actually means longing is breathing toward something, breathing toward. So the breath of our longing reaches toward the wonder and vitality of our youth, the innocence of our beautiful, lost, sometimes lost to ourselves, boy or girl inside of us. That first world of dreams and of enchantment that we all had coming into this world. There's a longing in us. And today I hope to awaken those memories and longings for who you really are.
Norma's calling me Laura, and I just want to explain that many of you were here for my naming ceremony when I took Lorelia in February. But a week ago, I consciously decided to go back to Laura, or forward to Laura, largely because I'm a communicator and an inspirator, and it was creating more distance than connection with people. People didn't know how to say it or spell it. So I carry with me all of that ceremony that we had together and all that meant, and all the meaning Lorelia has is still in me. I was steeped in it for 8 months. But you can call me Laura if you like. Or Laura, either one is fine. Okay. That longing, the dream. And I go back to my childhood with this song, which was the first song my father taught me. Maybe you know it too. If you know it, sing it with me. I've changed the words just slightly, but it won't matter, to fit with our service today.
We all have dreams, don't we? We all have dreams. And when we say that, that can mean a lot of different things. We all have nighttime dreams, but we all have dreams about our lives. When we're little, we have big dreams about who we are. We remember who we are. And we have big dreams. Well, there come times in a nation when there are big dreams. When this nation was born, people had big dreams about it. Before the white people came here, indigenous people, the first peoples on this land, had big dreams. Dreams of what their lives meant and the oneness with the kingdom of heaven on earth. The Iroquois were some of those people with big dreams, and they dreamt of peace on earth. And they achieved peace, it's told, for a long time. Some say 1,000 years. All over a whole large portion of what we call the United States, there was peace. Nowadays we hear a lot of talking on TV and so forth about the dreams that some are having for this nation. What dreams are you having? What dreams are you having for peace, for a democracy, a true democracy where we the people are a people of love? What are your dreams? Are there big things that are calling you in your life? Sometimes a big thing can be as big as healing and reconciliation in our relationships, coming back home to our bodies. So today we're going to be talking about dreams that you have. Dreams on a small scale and a large scale. So go with me, if you will, into listening to a dream by a woman that I admire in this country. And this is going around on the internet and on YouTube. And it's by Alice Walker. You know Alice Walker, Black woman, poet, warrior, visionary. And she has been speaking this dream out at conventions all over the country lately. And it's called Womanocracy or something, Democracy, that includes women, womanism. And it's hearkening back to that this country was founded on the Iroquois Confederacy's beliefs of democracy, which had the 13 grandmothers as their chief, as their council behind the chiefs. And so including women again, and the men are included in this too, as you'll hear in her poem. So let's hear it with Alice Walker reading it, speaking it.
Democratic womanism. You ask me why I smile when you tell me you intend in the coming national elections to hold your nose and vote for the lesser of two evils. There are more than two evils out there, is one reason I smile. Another is that our old buddy Nostradamus comes to mind with his fearful 400-year-old prophecy that our world, and theirs too, our enemies, lots of kids included there, will end by nuclear Nakba or Holocaust in our lifetime. Which makes the idea of elections and the billions of dollars wasted on them somewhat fatuous. A Southerner of color, my people held the vote very dear, while others for centuries merely appeared to play with it. One thing I can assure you of is this: I will never betray such pure hearts by voting for evil, even if it were microscopic, which, as you can see in any newscast, no matter the slant, it is not. I want something else, a different system entirely, one not seen on this earth for thousands of years, if ever. Democratic womanism. Notice how this word has man right in the middle of it? That's one reason I like it. He is right there, front and center, but he is surrounded. I want to vote and work for a way of life that honors the feminine, a way that acknowledges the theft of the wisdom female and dark mother leadership might have provided our spaceship all along. I am not thinking of a talking head kind of gal, happy to be mixing it up with the baddest bad boys on the planet. Her eyes a slit, her mouth a zipper. No, I am speaking of true regime change, where women rise to take their place en masse at the helm of Earth's frail and failing ship, where each 1,000 years of our silence is examined with regret, and the cruel manner in which our values of compassion and kindness have been ridiculed and suppressed, brought to bear on the disaster for the present time. The past must be examined closely, I believe, before we can leave it there. I am thinking of democratic and perhaps socialist womanism. For who else knows so deeply how to share but mothers and grandmothers, big sisters and aunts, to love and adore both female and male, not to mention those in between, to work at keeping the entire community fed, educated, and safe. Democratic womanism, democratic socialist womanism, would have as its icons such fierce warriors for good as Vandana Shiva, Aung San Suu Kyi, Wangari Maathai, Harriet Tubman, Yoko Ono, Frida Kahlo, Angela Davis, and Barbara Lee, with new ones always rising wherever you look. You are also on this list, but it is so long, ISIS would appear midway, that I must stop or be unable to finish the poem. So just know I've stood you in a circle that includes Marion Wright Edelman, Amy Goodman, Sojourner Truth, Gloria Steinem, and Mary McLeod Bethune. John Brown, Frederick Douglass, John Lennon, and Howard Zinn are there, happy to be surrounded. There is no system now in place that can change the disastrous course the earth is on. Who can doubt this? The male leaders of earth appear to have abandoned their very senses, though most appear to live now entirely in their heads. They murder humans and other animals, forests and rivers and mountains every day they are in office, and never seem to notice it. They eat and drink devastation. Women of the world, is this devastation us? Would we kill whole continents for oil or anything else, rather than limit the number of consumer offspring we produce and learn how to make our own fire? Democratic womanism, democratic socialist womanism, a system of governance we can dream and imagine and build together, one that recognizes at least 6,000 years of brutally enforced complicity in the assassination of Mother Earth, but foresees 6,000 years ahead of us when we will not submit. What will we need? 100 years at least to plan. 500 will be handed us gladly when the planet is scared enough, in which circles of women meet, organize ourselves, and allied with men brave enough to stand with women, nurture our planet to a degree of health. And without apology, impossible to make a bigger mess than has been made already, devote ourselves, heedless of opposition, to tirelessly serving and resuscitating our mothership, and with gratitude for her care of us, worshipfully commit to rehabilitating it.
Just be aware of how you feel hearing all of that. It's my first time to hear it read by her. It draws us to a serious awareness, and yet toward the end of it I was feeling my heart beating faster, like a rising hope, a rising great hope, greater than we maybe have allowed ourselves to feel in a long time. Laura has written a beautiful chant for us for today that get our voices and our hearts and our bodies going with this rising hope.
This encapsulates all we're talking about today. It's a call and response, so whatever I sing, you just sing it back to me. The first time, I'll sing it back to me too, so you know what to do. When I follow my dreams, when I follow my dreams, as I journey through the earth, as I journey through the earth, I find deep truth. I find deep truth to help me heal, to help me heal, to help me learn, to help me learn. When I follow my dreams, when I follow my dreams, as I journey through the earth, as I journey through the earth, I find deep truth. I find deep truth to help me heal, to help me learn, to help me learn. When I follow my dreams, when I follow my dreams, as I journey through the earth, as I journey through the earth, I find deep peace. I find deep peace to help me heal, to help me heal, to help me learn, to help me learn. When I follow my dreams, when I follow my dreams, as I journey through the earth, as I journey through the earth, I find deep love. I find deep love to help me heal, to help me heal, to help me learn, to help me learn. When I follow my dreams, follow my dreams, as I journey through the earth, as I journey through the earth, I find deep joy. I find deep joy to help me heal, to help me learn, to help me learn. When I follow my dreams, when I follow my dreams, as I journey through the earth, as I journey through the earth, I know deep truth. I know deep truth to help me heal, to help me heal, to help me learn, to help me learn, to help me heal, to help me heal, to help me learn. Aho. Aho. Like that. Whoa, that was nice. Whoa. Well, what is a shaman? Today I'm talking about the democracy of shamanism, so I think we have to define that word shaman a little bit. Well, I know you must have your ideas about what a shaman is, so I'm going to ask you that in just a moment. The word shaman is actually borrowed from the Tungus Siberian people. You've probably heard that. And it's a word that's similar to a priest or a minister or a healer. It's one who, in their society, held the ritual practices and the healing practices that were handed down through the generations. And that word became widespread just fairly recently, in the 70s. But there was a man who used that word long before then, in the 1930s and 40s. Have you ever heard of Mircea Eliade? He was a professor at the University of Chicago with the great job of having to go all over the world and study shamanic cultures. He was the first one in the Western academic world to ever be given that assignment, and he spent his life on it and wrote a thick book afterwards called Shamanism, with the subtitle Archaic Techniques of Ecstasy.
and it came out in 1959. Well, he came to define a shaman this way. This is a cogent statement of it at the beginning of his book. A shaman is a spiritual adept, in other words, mastery, level of mastery, who has mastered the art of journeying beyond the body to communicate with the spirit realm and to guide the souls of both the living and the departed to bring them to healing. It's a nice statement of it, isn't it? There are common characteristics of shamanic healers all over the planet, common characteristics. And I've been privileged myself to travel into many different cultures where there are shamans from Central, South America, Africa, Caribbean, the Far East, and North America. And everywhere I go, I find that there are people who could be called shamans, healers, that are using basically the same tools and doing basically the same things and having similar beliefs. Isn't that fascinating? So what that tells us, it's a way of living and a way of perceiving reality that's been on this earth a long, long time. And it's probably much older than any of the organized religions that we have. And here's some characteristics of shamans cross-culturally. 6 things. They go between the worlds at will, and they enter into other realms of consciousness. They work with power animals and spirit guides. Drumming is used for inducing trance state journeys. The province of their care is the guidance of the soul. The soul is the most important thing to them. 5, they have personally gone beyond death and returned. And 6, their skills and services are highly valued by their community. So I'm just giving you a little taste here of what some say a shaman is. And now I want to ask you, when you think about what is a shaman, what comes to your mind?
Norma, Burton.
Good answer.
I'll show you my stuff.
Wisdom. Anyone on a spiritual path who's really going deep.
Like that, Christine. Yep.
Ancient wisdom.
Ancient wisdom.
A woman who will stand up with her spine straight and say, put those goddamn guns down. I have a hammer in this hand and a saw in this one. I need a church over here, and we need a school over there.
Yeah, that would be a very Kali-like shaman. Great girl. Penelope.
I think it's our spiritual DNA, and it floats among all the belief systems, and that's what unity taught in the very beginning.
Yes, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like that. Oh, over here, Denise.
Someone who can move you to a transformative perspective.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's someone who is able to share a wisdom that they don't even possess.
Yeah,
That
it's
they
beyond.
can reach for it and
Yeah.
then share it with those who are
That's nice. I like that.
Altered states of consciousness.
Yes, altered states of consciousness.
My experience is that it is surrendering to the unknown and being guided to those cracks in what is,
Yes.
and entering it through the little cracks.
Yes. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful statement.
It's interesting too how some shamans in their initiation have had psychotic breaks or near-death experiences, as you said,
Yes.
and come back again and had to try to integrate that knowledge. But so I mean, the shamanic path of initiation, if you want to be a shamanic healer, is quite the intense path, and not a, even though can use shamanic tools on a day-to-day basis, there's a difference between the practitioner and the shaman healer,
Yes.
which is quite significant. And because, that path is, we do a lot of initiations, and and study of the whole entheogenic plant medicines, and there's so many of them. It's a huge commitment.
That's
The
great,
healing
Victoria.
aspects of it.
Victoria. That's a great statement. That is a great segue, or maybe you just preached my whole sermon. That's great.
It's funny, I just did a lot of research on it recently, and learned a lot from Sandra Ingerman and Hank
Yes.
Wesselman.
Yes.
Incredible teachers.
There are great books out there now, so many books on shamanism, that there are more and more, and great teachers. So as you can hear from just our brief conversation together about it, shamanism, it's many things to many people, but at its core, there are some basic truths that we can feel and we know. And I like this statement about it, that it's a spiritual tradition dedicated to all of us becoming fully human. Don't you like that? Yeah. And another person said, through partnership with the compassionate spirits, shamanic practitioners bring blessings of balance and healing to the world. The world of the soul often seems too mystical for us to travel, and yet we know that the mysteries are there, hidden just beyond our view. Shamanism beckons us to explore the worlds of soul in trance, through guided drum, rattle, and our own powers. So, thank you for musing with me about it. And one thing I always like to say about shamanism is that we, in our Western culture, here we are sitting here, and our faces are mostly white. It doesn't mean that we don't necessarily have Native American blood in us, or bloods of many different tribes on this planet. We're a very mixed people, really. But we tend to think of shamanism as only being the purview of indigenous people. But it's in every cultural heritage. It's in every one of our cultural heritages, right? We know this, but it's in Celtic heritage as well. So we also, though, always want to honor the indigenous peoples, and there are some Celtic indigenous peoples too, but indigenous people all over the planet. What does that mean to us? It means that they have stuck with the earth through thick and thin. They haven't gotten separated off so much from their bodies and from the earth, and that comes at a great price sometimes. So we want to honor, whenever we talk about shamanism, the indigenous people who have stuck with it. And, no matter what our heritage, the shamanic truths live within all of us because they run so deep and strong. It's like that song that says, you can't kill the spirit. It's old and strong. It goes on and on. It's within all of us. So it's a spiritual path, like we're saying, all over the planet. It's not an organized religion. It's not an organized religion, although it's getting a little more organized now with the internet and so forth. You can sort of go on the internet and find shamanic teachers, which is a new thing. It's mostly always been by an oral tradition and by seeking out and being called to find it, mainly through your dreams, actually, through the dreams. Most shamans are initiated through their own dream time. That's how it happened for me. From the time I was a little child. We're called from the time we're young to our particular paths, right? Each one of you was called through your dreams, both your nighttime dreams and your dreams of who you were from a young age, to go down a particular path. When you think about the path that it is, like Victoria was talking about, the path that your life has taken. It maybe isn't what you first thought it might be, or it isn't maybe as easy as you pictured it at first. Because the path on planet Earth is a path down in and up out again. William Blake, the poet, saw that, said it was from innocence to experience to innocence again. So we're all on that path. Every human is on that path down in. When you stop to think of it, we really can praise Jesus. Because Jesus was one of the great shamans that came on planet Earth. You think about his calling and his light being self that came to share love. And all those people that Alice Walker was listing, there are people who I'm sure had a vision of their lives, that they were here to shine out love and share love and to change the planet and bring healing. And then the path takes us down the pathways it does and back up out again. And back up out again. And that's the story that Christianity was based on. That story of being called and going down into experience and coming back up out again. When you think about that, we can praise Mary too. No wonder when Catholics pray to Mary, they say, Holy, Holy Mary, Mother of God. Well, anyone whose heart had to open that big to hold the journey that her son went on was a holy woman, yes. Are we the mothers and fathers of God? How big are our hearts opening these days, to be able to hold a new vision? It says, Holy Mary, Mother of God, blessed art thou among women, blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Pray for us sinners now and in the hour of our death. So people throughout the Christian ages have called on Mary, who held a great vision and saw it all the way through, to pray for us. Who do you call on to pray for you, to bring your vision all the way through? It's good to call on Mary. It's good to call on Jesus. And maybe you have a grandmother or a grandfather or someone who believed in you as a child, but who do you call on to bring you all the way through? At the end of all of our lives, we're going to go on a big shamanic journey. And we're going to go all the way to the other dimensions, to altered states of consciousness. So shamanic practitioners all over the planet have been practicing for that big journey. Practicing. It's really worthwhile to practice before we have to take that big leap. And Jean Houston has written a book called Jump Time. And I love the book. I've read it a couple of times, and it has a lot of examples in it of people through the ages who have had big dreams and have taken a leap, have taken a jump in their lives before they are, at that final jump, but have taken a big leap. So when we journey shamanically, we're like, we're practicing. We're practicing something that people on this planet have done all through the ages. And Victoria was bringing up the difference between a shamanic practitioner, you can hear that word practice in it, and a shaman. So I like to think of it as a person who is a shaman is someone who has a vocational calling for it, like a nun or a monk or a priest, someone whose whole life, their whole vocation is following the shamanic path. And so many learnings and things happen in their lives to make them finally be able to eventually say, I am a shaman. But a shamanic practitioner is anyone who takes up this way of being and practices it. And so you don't have to be, in other words, a polished therapist to be a shamanic practitioner. What are some of the things a shamanic practitioner can do? Just a few that are similar to those 6 things I named that a shaman does. A shamanic practitioner can dream and do trance journey work and go into the mystery of one's own soul. We're going to be starting a dream group here in a couple of weeks, along with the Journey to Completion, which is a deep dive into the training of being a shamanic practitioner. We can come together just to share our dreams, and that's a deepening of ourselves. A shamanic practitioner can also be out in nature as much as possible and get the messages that nature's so ready to give us. A shamanic practitioner is one who listens deeply to your body, who likes to move around and shake it up and listen when it's in pain and listen to it. Listen no matter what our body is saying, and realizing that our body is our first home. We've got to make our bodies our home. And a shamanic practitioner can set strong intent and can see their intent come all the way through. So above all, a shaman and a shaman practitioner, they have this in common. They are strong dreamers and strong intenders. In the Mohawk language, the word for being a dreamer is a funny word. It's called Adze Edze Oats. Can you say that with me? Adze Edze Oats. Adze Edze Oats. So if you were a shaman in the Mohawk culture, you'd be called Adze Edze Oats. And that word also means a healer or a doctor. For the Duar people of Mongolia, their word for shaman is Yadgan. And guess what? Their word also means a dreamer. So in this Duar language, they also have a special word, though, for a shaman's dream. It's called Sulong. S-O-O-L-O-N-G. Sulong. That's a very special dream. A dream that has a special gift for the community. And that word Sulong, with a O added onto the end of it, Sulongo, becomes the word for rainbow in their language. So there's special shamanic dreaming that happens that can become a rainbow bridge. I believe that some of us, maybe many of us in this room, are called to be those rainbow bridge dreamers for these times. The Aborigines of Walcott Inlet area in Australia have a teaching that a great snake goddess comes to their young initiates and takes them through fearsome dreamtime initiations. And when they make it through these tests, they're reborn into a new body of light. And then they're one with the Miriru, M-I-R-I-R-U, Miriru. It sounds a little bit like mirror, doesn't it? They become one with the Miriru, which I've talked to you before about. It's the double, the soul's double. And they believe that the soul's double then can fly out of the body at night and go many places around the planet and help people. So there's a pathway to walk, a growth pathway within shamanism, and there are many, many things to do and places to go and beings to see. Without consciously knowing this about the Duar people who talk about the special dreams that shamans have, or about the Aborigines in Australia who talk about the Miriru, or any of these things growing up, I didn't have access to all of that information, but I was taken in my dreams to many, many places, and initiations happened to me. I grew up in New York State, in a little community called Alabama, which is the Seneca word for place of rest. And my grandmother was adopted into the tribe, so she had access to some special knowledges that white people don't usually have. So she was a great support, and she saw me as a little dreamer. If you see any children around you that you know are especially gifted at dreaming, as elders, please encourage them. You need to encourage the dreamers. My grandmother encouraged me. And I had this dream over and over again that I was being met by a spirit guide. And he always came to me with buckskin on, which is why I wore this today. And so my grandmother bought me a little buckskin vest when I was little, because she knew I dreamt of it. And so she was bringing something into ordinary reality that was in my dream time, because she was teaching me by that we have to bring together our ordinary reality and our dream time. That's what a shaman has to do. We can't just leave our dreams in the dream time. We've got to bring them all the way through. So I just got this when I was in Santa Fe to remind myself of that buckskin vest that I had when I was little. I haven't had one ever since then. And it's good to feel it, to sense it. Well, one time, many years later, when I was in Sedona, I was launching the International Alliance for Spirit at Work when I worked in the corporations trying to help bring spirit into the workplace. The group of leaders that we were there with, one of them was a clairvoyant, and she said, after we were out at Cathedral Rock, she said, "I saw someone standing behind you, and he told me to ask you, was buckskin ever important to you?" And I started to cry, because it was another human person saying to me that she had seen this being standing behind me who was talking about buckskin. And then she told me that he told her to say to me that he had come to me when I was 7 years old. And he was with me ever since. And he's very, very tall. And since then I've been to South America, I've visited shamans there in Central America, and they can see sometimes better than we can, and they always look behind me and say, hello. Who do you have standing behind you? Really. We all have spirit guides, every one of us, and we forget about them. We don't think about them. We don't talk to them. We've got to start realizing that we have some powerful, really big spirit guides standing behind us. Laura has a beautiful song to sing for us right now. It's a solo song that it has one of the most beautiful melodies to it, and just use it in this moment to draw memories to yourself. Ones like I've been talking to you about, of my buckskin vest, my spirit guide standing behind me. Who's been there for you? Who's called you in your dreams? What have they been calling you to? Just feel into it in this song.
This is what I know. We are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining heart. Everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart, and all I need is already looking through these eyes, nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be, and now I let it go with such appreciation, with sheer exhilaration. Now I set it free, and so it is, so be it. When I sing it, I can see it. I will proceed. Let our journey begin.
I love that. We are all connected. We're all connected. They've found lately that they're saying that trees are all connected, all over the earth, all over the planet, that their roots go down and there's this weaving web of connection, and somehow it's true for us humans too. We're all connected. As I look out on you here today, I'm looking out on the faces of wonderful people with deep spiritual callings. Many of you elders, many of you headed wisely toward your true path in life. And I think it's time that we gather up all of our life experience, looking back on it and calling it good, naming it for the lessons that we've got out of it, like Laura's other song told us, for the learnings that we've gotten. And we're being called right now to dream again, even bigger, to be the rainbow shamans that are needed right now on the planet. And one of the things that we have to do, we just have to do it, the Dalai Lama has called us to do it in these times, is that we've got to go out in nature, even if it's just sitting on your porch. To whatever degree you can, we've got to get outside, because when we're out there in nature, something happens, like the trees that are all connected. We can start to feel our connections again. So before I could talk to you today, I had to go out in nature for quite a few hours and just be there. And it came to me that I only know what I know. I only know anything that I know from nature, from the rocks and the plants and the earth and the sky and the birds and the animals. Do you hear what I'm saying? Really, we know what we know because we're part of the elements of this planet. Our bodies are such an interwoven part of the whole. And that's where our true power lies. So if we're thinking about power and governments and power that needs to come upon the earth, we've got to go back into nature. The Mohawk call this power, this true power, they've got a word for it. It's called Orenda, O-R-E-N-D-A, Orenda. And they say that by tapping into Orenda, the creative force of life, that we will find within ourselves guidance for the appropriate ways of being for a better society, a kind of spiritual politics in which true justice prevails. So by accessing this Orenda, this spiritual power that we tap into when we go out there in nature, we're able to perceive the patterns that Great Spirit is needing to communicate to us. So instead of staying trapped in our limited thinking and our fears and our limitations, when we're out there, Spirit invites us to embrace a new mind which looks fearlessly at our present conditions and sees what is needed and understands the patterns that need to be set in motion so that we can go about doing what we need to do. Scientists are now proclaiming that mystics and shamans were right all along. That the cosmos is deeply and totally unified in some mysterious way. That things that seem to be separated are not. They are connected in ways that transcend ordinary time and space. Immense levels of energy, they say, are flowing in and through us constantly. In and through us constantly. Immense levels of energy. Renewing each of us and everything around us in every instant. Jean Houston said it this way: the universe is a flow that arises moment by moment from the abyss of energetic nourishment in a process of continuous regeneration. Don't you love how she says things? The universe is a flow that arises moment by moment from the abyss of energetic nourishment in a process of continuous regeneration. So that abyss is nothing to be afraid of. In our lives, at times when we have to sink into abysses of our own pain, our own things that are happening in our families or our relationships, or even in our communities and nations, when we have to sink into those abysses, go into nature more and realize that there is this nourishment that's taking place continuously. A shaman is a person who spends a lot of time in nature and in the dream world, and in the dream world, in nature. See what I'm saying? We go into the dream world to go deeper into nature, and go into nature to go deeper into our dream world. So it's deeply, deeply connected. Dreams call us to a larger purpose, and that's the summary and gist of today. In life's storms, Dreams restore our inner compass. Our conscience speaks to us in dreams to remind us that without the deeper truths, we will be lost. Just a couple stories in closing. A short one about a Persian king who fell into the habit in his life of telling lies and deceit, deceiving himself. He lied to himself and to others to the point that it was said that his inner guide got so discouraged with him that it flew off and left him, and it looked like a falcon flying off. In the story, the king felt that and realized his loss, and it got him to decide to clean up his act, and the soul bird flew back and dwelt with him again. But then the king fell back into his bad habits of lying and deceit, and the falcon flew off and left him forever. And the king sickened and died, and the whole kingdom fell into ruin. So in case you haven't noticed, that part of us that thinks and chooses in our ordinary life is not always the wisest part of us, just like was happening to that king. Can you think of something in your mind right now that's led you to think that things were such and such a way, led you to think in terms of fears or anger or discouragement? Your mind was leading you there, but it wasn't necessarily true. The most important knowledge comes to us through the remembering of who we really are in our dreams. There's a Greek word for it, anamnesis. Can you hear a familiar word in there? Anamnesis, what do you hear in there? Amnesia. Amnesia comes from this Greek word, but anamnesis is the opposite of amnesia, which is forgetting ourselves. Anamnesis means remembering deeply who we are before we came to this earth. We live differently when we remember more and more that our lives have a purpose, that the ups and downs of our lives are part of a much bigger story. We gain a perspicacity that's bigger than even our bodily lives, a higher view from the depths, from the mountaintops, a dream that can take us all the way through. All the way through. There's a dream story of a guy who I knew in the Bay Area named Mark Allen. He was co-founder of New World Library Publishing House. Do you know him too, some of you? Yeah. And I knew him when he was young, in his 20s, like I was in the Bay Area, being a Zen student. And we both had this common belief that money would corrupt our souls. So he lived in a little tiny apartment that he shared with others, and he paid $65 a month for rent. And when he got to his 30s, he started feeling like his life was really down and out. And he decided to come up with a more ideal picture of what he thought he should be doing here. So he realized from a dream he had that he wanted to produce books and be a publisher for his books and others. So he joined with his friend Shakti Gawain, who I also knew, some of you know her. And they founded this New World Publishing Company. So it went on for a while, but it wasn't very profitable. And a few years later, he got to the point where he felt like he needed to close the company. But then one night he went to sleep and he had this dream. He was taken down a skinny, difficult tunnel into a cave. It was hard to get there. It got darker and darker and he was afraid. But once he got into the cave, in the dim light, he saw 3 banquet tables set up. 3 banquet tables. He went over to the first one, and on the first one, there were many things of this world, like computers and electronic equipment and gold and beautiful cars and images of houses and wonderful things. And the voice in the dream said to him, "This is the material world. It is given to you to use for high purposes. It's for your enjoyment and for your learning of mastery." So we went on to the second table. And on the second table, there were 4 magical instruments. There was a wand, a chalice, a cup, a sword, and a pentacle. And he recognized these symbols from the tarot deck. And the voice came again and said, "This is the plane of astral magic. There's nothing here that you need to reject either. It's for your enjoyment and mastery, all of it." And then he went to the third table. And on the third table, there was nothing but a bare tablecloth, but as he looked closely at it, it was shimmering as if it was made out of a silvery light. And then the voice came and it said, this represents the spiritual plane. It's everywhere, filling everything. In fact, it's your essence. You will always be here. You always have been, and you always will be, and you are connected to everything. When he heard this in the dream, he spread out his arms and he was lifted as this energy infused his whole body, and he was lifted up like he was flying up to the ceiling of that cathedral-like cave that he was in his dream. And then he woke up from his dream, and he woke up realizing that his arms were spread out like this. And he could feel the warmth of the light and this energy that had come into him in the dream, and the clarity that he'd gotten. And the message that he received was a voice that he heard in his ear when he woke up, and it said, go for it. Don't hold back. Well, he said that dream was worth years of therapy, and it gave him the courage to revision his business with much more expansive plans, and he was given the energy and the focus to turn a struggling business into this world-renowned company. I had a dream. I've had it recurring through my whole life. Have you had recurring dreams through your whole life? They keep coming back in a similar form, one way or the other. Pay attention to those dreams. I had this dream just the other night, and it came in a slightly different form. And it was entitled, like a movie that I was watching. And it was called The Building. The Building. And then it took me to this building. And it was a very strange building because it was out in the middle of an ocean. And I kept thinking to myself rationally, wait a minute, how can a building be built on the ocean? There's no rooting for it, I don't get it. But there was this building built in the middle of the ocean, and there were hundreds of souls there. And I realized as I went around meeting everybody that there were people who have died. My father, Liz, who recently died, and others who I've done funerals for this summer. And there were also children there who seemed to be as yet maybe unborn children. And then I recognized some children of some of you, your child selves. Lots of you were there. So this building was populated by people, it seemed like from all time zones and all space. It wasn't limited. The building. And it was telling me that it's a new building that we are building. It's a new building that I've been dreaming of all my life. And yes, indeed, it is in the floating world. It's still in the floating world. But it's needing to come into manifestation. Maybe it's like the great peacemaker, how do you say his name? Daganawida of the Iroquois nation. He dreamt of this great building that he tried to communicate to his people that we needed to build, called the Longhouse. This building, this place where peace happens, this place where we're in the altered state of consciousness and we're all together and we're seeing it all through from beginning to end. Are you hearing this call inside of you to build the building that you've been seeing all your life, whatever that is for you? Are you hearing, do it now, don't hold back? Throughout this week, I've had some amazing experiences of people coming to me. One woman who was here last week, she comes here to Unity sometimes, and she's from Norway, and she said, I've got to speak to you this week. And she came and sat in my house, and she said, don't hold back, Norma. You've got to do it now. She said, I don't know exactly what your dream is, but Spirit came for me to tell you, don't hold back. You've got to do it now. I think we're all hearing this. If I'm hearing it, I believe that you are hearing it too. And that we are all connected in our roots, in our energy system. And that there's no accident that you're sitting here today together, that we're hearing this. And we've got to get together and share our dreams. That's why I want to have these dream groups. We have big dreams happening right now in every one of us. I'll conclude with a final short story from Tolkien. I love the Tolkien books and the movies that were made, the Lord of the Rings movies. And I always remember this final scene where in the Lord of the Rings a monstrous army had grown to an unbeatable size. Remember that scene? And the odds against the forces of good seemed totally overwhelming, and they were all losing hope. And the battle against the great forces of darkness seemed like it couldn't be won until what had to happen? the true king, Aragorn, had to remember who he really was. And then all the forces of the departed ancestors and the tree spirits and the animal spirits and all the rocks and all the earth elements rose up and came forth and joined together to defeat the massive armies of the evil ones. And the battle was won and the victory for the earth achieved. And this story wonderfully demonstrates the courage and energy that becomes available, that is becoming available to all of us when we act from this knowing of our true inner selves. So there's a call going on, and it's happening through our dreams. Like last week, I'd like to take you into a few moments right now of going into the dream time so that you have some contact that gets made while we're here together. Last week I took you on a guided imagery journey, and that's what we usually do in Unity. There's wonderful ways to be guided on a journey, but in shamanic journeys, it's done with a drum, like we're talking about. And I want to take you on a brief drumming journey, just for a few minutes. Probably I'll drum for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. But I'd like you to journey in the shamanic way, which means I'm not guiding you. I'm not speaking it to you step by step. You're just going into the dream time and making contact and coming back with a message. So here's how you do it, because there's an important pattern, a way to do it that's taught all over the planet, that you start from a place in ordinary reality. You see, we start from ordinary reality always to go into the dream time, and then we come back to ordinary reality and bring our dream vision back. So you choose a place in nature where you've really been in nature, not just an imaginary place, okay? Do you all have that come to mind? Choose a place in nature that you've been. And you're going to dig down in from there. So if you choose a body of water, it's okay, but you've got to go to the bottom of it and dig down into the bottom. Go down into the earth, that's the whole point. So it takes always, the shamanic journey will take you down in first, down into the earth. So you're going to put your mind to work as I begin the drumming. Just ask your mind to cooperate. We've been talking about our minds and how they can lead us astray. So now you're asking your mind to cooperate and to take you down and in by digging. And you say to your mind, we're just going to dig. That's all you have to do is dig. So please dig. So put your mind to work digging. And then at a certain point, your mind will cooperate and you'll be in the underworld, in the dream space. And there in the dream space today, ask your guide to come to you in the form of a power animal. You might be currently working with one and know who it is. Maybe you don't. So ask the animal to come to you that is your guide. And you can know if it's your animal because it'll come to you from 4 directions, or in 4 parts of itself. Like it might show you its eye, its beak, its wings, and its talons, or something like that. So the test of 4. And then you're asking your animal to guide you to a message that you need for today about a dream that has lain dormant in you, or that you've been too afraid or held back from manifesting, to just give you a glimpse of it. Maybe it was a childhood dream that you had of something that's important right now. Something that's bigger than big, that's bigger than maybe you ever think you could do. But it's a dream that's been there in you. And then I'll be beating the drum steadily the whole time, and then I'll beat it 4 times, 4 times to signal you to stop and to come back. And I'll beat it rapidly, and you retrace your steps and come all the way out where you went in. Are you game?
Yeah, sure.
Any questions about how to do it? Okay. So I noticed some of you getting a little sleepy already because I've been talking a lot. That's okay, because the dream time is calling you. Just don't go to sleep really, though. Keep your mind alert, but relax. Just feel yourself sitting there with your hips on the chair, relaxing, and let your feet and legs relax, and your shoulders relax a little bit more, and your arms get heavy, and your neck relax, your face muscles relax, let your jaw relax, your throat relax, and let your eyes gently close. Trusting into the dream time, taking long, slow, deep breaths. Just see what happens. Use your imagination to its fullest capacity to imagine what I asked you to, starting with imagining that place that you're going to go down in from, that place in nature. You might turn and see somebody waiting there for you that you trust and love. Leave them waiting there at the entry place, and they're smiling and nodding at you. It's okay to go. We'll be here when you get back. Long, slow, deep breath. And now put your mind to work, digging down in, and have a good journey. Retrace your steps and come back through it. Come up where you went. Whatever happened, don't discount it, and remind yourself, tell yourself right now what took place. Track it inside of you like a story. What I'd like to do is have you open your eyes and feel yourself back in this room, in this space. And be with the feeling of your journey and whatever messages came through. Just a little taste, but maybe something came through for you. And we're going to take the offering now, which is something you've got to be in ordinary reality to get out your purse and reach into your pocket and ground you in ordinary reality with this green stuff. And we have our people taking the offering go around, and I've heard you play some nice piano music behind it. And while the offering is being taken, what I'd like you to do is turn to a little grouping of people, not just 2 on 2, but let's have it be like about 4 people. and share briefly if you want to. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you can just listen to the other ones. That's why it's nice to have 4, not one-on-one. And share in the group something that came for you out of today's service or out of the journey that you just had. Bring it into ordinary reality by sharing it with a little group of people. So you might have to turn around, move your chair around a little bit. Be mindful of the offering, people coming around as you do it. But get together in some little groupings and just share while the offering is going on what happened for you today. Well, I've so enjoyed seeing you engage with one another and deeply sharing, so finish it up. Thank you for coming back together now. I'm so glad you're enjoying sharing. And let's bring our chi energy together again, and the rubbing of our hands. Feel that energy that is there in and through us. It's the universal nourishment. And we flood this energy out to our offering. We say, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for this divine reciprocity that's flowing amongst us. Thank you, Goddess. Yes. Thank you. And our final song is a great song for today. Great song for today. Because it's about bringing it all the way through. It's about those that have gone before us that knew that it could be brought all the way through, that they had dreams that we would live out. It's an amazing song. Let's sing it together.
Norma, what's the author's name? He lived in Santa Fe with us. He wrote Care of the Soul. Robert Moore? Who? Thomas More. I met Thomas More at a book signing in Santa Fe. He said, all artists are shaman because they go to the other side and they bring back truth for the tribe. And I think the man who wrote this song was a shaman when he wrote this song. You're going to know it, so sing it with me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul, a soul like me. I want
Feel taller, eh?
Yeah, I do.
Like I said, if you put your step forward.
I need a stool.
Hey, you need a stool?
Because
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in the circle.
Let's see. Where are we?
I'll hold you.
I gotta get over to this.
Can we make the circle so everyone can reach?
The shape of a heart.
Well, that being said, let's do this beating of the heart. I'm going to, as we are singing our closing song, we can be passing around the beat of the heart in our hand. I'll start it, by going to the right, and don't squeeze the person's hand to your left until you feel it come through you. So we'll pass around the beat of the heart as we sing our peace song. The peace song is such a great song to sing for today, isn't it? Let there be peace. Go this way? Okay, the direction of increase, so I'll send it this way, the heartbeat going this way through us all. Laura's going